Hello and welcome to So Farscape,
A fun-filled Farscape fancast by a fervent fan.
and a frankly fascinated first-timer.
I'm Kaki.
I'm Kay.
And this is
the story So Farscape. Yes, thank you for joining us for another episode of the regular So Farscape, episode 416, Bringing Home the Beacon.
Girls' Night.
Girls' Night.
Finally.
Although there's not much Girls' Night, at least not exclusively Girls' Night, as I was led to believe, but...
What do you mean?
It was mostly the girls, but, there's plenty of other folks on the ship as well. So.
Look, even in Girls' Night, there can be a few boys
No,
along.
I
It's
get
totally
that. Yeah,
fine.
no, I get that. But considering the circumstances for what this happened, I was expecting a more, just the girls episode. Like,
Yeah, I get what you mean, because the previous episode, Mental as Anything, was just a boys' night and sort of dealing with boys' things. And this was a much grander adventure.
right, much more plot development, much more,
Yeah.
world building, I suppose, in a way, even.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, doing some fancy dress up as well.
Oh, yes. That's actually one of my things.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm about to do the worst intro that we've ever done and interrupt it by taking off my headphones and walking away from the microphone. You stay
Okay,
right there.
well.
No, this is still part of it. You keep the audience entertained
I will
while
keep
I'm
the
away.
audience entertained.
Okay.
I am now sitting here in all by me onesie, waiting for Kaki, because he left earlier and he forgot to bring something, and then he decided am I going to go get it? And it's a big paper bag, a very noisy paper bag, as you
Very
might be able to
crinkly.
hear in the
Hope
background.
you like the ASMR. Okay, putting my headphones back on.
And he is back. So,
Okay.
what do you have in your basket, Juan?
Jose.
Jose has been to the market.
Unas papas, unas peperas, unas paquetes para puras peperas.
Okay, and nobody will have
No,
any
absolutely not. Unless you've watched Creative with Kirk, met Kirk, even, that was, so, sombreros.
idea. Sombreros, Juan.
I've got something for you.
Oh, do tell.
So, our friend Greg, whom we have had on the show during one of our greatest hiati when we were watching Titan AE, and I did Star Wars Rebel Air.
He was
the Star Wars
also
Rebels
with us
podcast.
for, was it? One of the movies, one of the greatest...
Yes, we joined him on his show. Doing,
that was it, yes.
Was it Solo? What was the other one? Rogue One.
We did, yes.
Okay. A long, long time ago, around the time that he and I started the Star Wars Rebels podcast, Rebel Air, two things happened. I sort of talked him into a purchase that he was very tempted to, but maybe he would have otherwise...
Not done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Be more sensible about it, yes.
Being more sensible about it. And I sort of... Okay, I mollified that whole situation by saying, okay, tell you what, I'll trade you for it.
Okay.
In due time. And what I traded him for was a podcasting microphone that he badly needed.
Oh, yes.
And that I sent him ahead of time so that we could do this podcast where he sounded great.
Oh, great.
And, a pandemic later, it has finally arrived. And I have for you, close your eyes.
Okay, eyes closed.
Close your eyes. This is great ASMR. Okay,
yes,
hold out your hands.
I'm excited.
Wider.
Okay.
Closer. And there you go.
Okay. So, okay.
Have a...
Is it?
What do you think?
I think I know what it is.
You think you know what it is? Okay, describe what you're feeling.
It's cloth, it's material, leather, maybe. I'm not sure if it's real leather, don't think so, but is it a peacekeeper jacket, cloak?
Only one way to find out.
Yes. Oh my God. It's great. It's a fantastic.
Look at that.
Red leather material like vest with black. Oh yes, it's the season 2. Is this?
He's still wearing it.
He's still
actually.
wearing it. So it's John's jacket. Oh my God.
It's John's excellent leather vest. It's got the
gorgeous,
lovely maroon leather and black leather. I think
Indeed.
it is indeed synthetic leather.
It probably is. I think so. It's hard to feel, but it's like
Got a lovely lining on the
it
inside.
does. Yeah, very soft and
Clippy buckles.
gorgeous. Yes.
Right on.
Wow, this is fantastic. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
No,
my turn to take off. Like this
Yeah, exactly. I've already made it so bad, so this is not a
I'm
deterioration.
not wearing the right kind of underclothes for this, but
I think you're supposed to wear a black T-shirt,
yeah,
right?
okay, so I'm wearing a dark blue jumper.
Oh, but it still looks fantastic
Oh, yeah.
on you.
It does. I mean,
Oh my God, that really fits you well.
it's a little bit looser than I would like to.
Well, it's supposed to be worn open, isn't
I
it?
suppose. Oh, I guess so. I mean,
Yeah, he usually wears it open.
Right. So yeah.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Great.
All right.
Oh,
I'm going to turn your microphone so that you can actually
talk
be
into it.
heard.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Because
okay,
we're not done yet. Stay standing.
Oh
yeah.
my! Oh dear. And what's this? Oh, it's the overcoat that goes with it.
Yes, it is, baby.
Oh my! It's again a beautiful long leather sleeved coat, black cloth.
Yeah, I love how heavy the cloth is.
Yeah,
like this is an
really
excellent
nice.
sort of replica.
Gorgeous metal buckles.
Oh, that's how you close them.
You were wondering. Had you been fiddling with them?
I have been fiddling with the buckles a little bit.
They are very curious. Like it's almost like a puzzle buckle, but it's not a very difficult puzzle. But so I guess you have to hang it open.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, you don't get the sort of swish and swirl that everybody loves.
Not. Oh, it's gorgeous. It has. Now I just need to find an occasion to wear something like this.
I've always loved how the collar of the vest sticks up out of the collar of the coat.
Right.
The overcoat doesn't itself have a
collar. No, it's the vest that has the.
And it's such a great combination.
Yes.
It just needs one more thing.
Oh no! What is this? Oh my God! It's Winona.
It's Winona. In a nice holster.
Very nice. Oh, gorgeous.
It's a nice resin cast. It was transported, obviously piece bonded with proper tape because our friend Greg is a
I guess this is like
cosplayer.
He wore this at a con or something where you have to have it checked by the con staff and the security. Yeah.
Yep, so this model is just a pure, straight-up cast like they used on the show itself. No moving parts.
Very nice. I mean, I don't think the show did a lot of those. Did they have hero props for Winona, or is it always just the same?
Some of them would be cast in metal just for weight and heft.
Right.
And the other ones would be rubber, something more...
Rubber is the more traditional cast, or resin is what they usually cast the general props with.
But they were always the same. So only some fan-made versions had like lights in them or whatever. And this is then the season 2 or season 3 version of the holster that indeed buckles. Because in season 1 they had this thing where like they didn't really have a holster so much as like a plate on the thigh that they could clip it into, but that was super painful to fall on, and they do a lot of fall on them.
Is Greg a lefty?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I noticed that the gun was in the holster as if it would be worn on the left side.
Oh.
It's these little things that. Okay, I'm trying. I'm desperately trying to strap it on now. So
as a trained, you and your strap-ons.
Oh,
I was half thinking, like, don't you own a pair of black leather trousers?
I do.
Which would finish this, like this and a t-shirt. I almost thought about like teasing you beforehand, like, hey, by the way, no reason.
Wear your leather pants.
Which would not be the weirdest thing I've asked you to do for one of these recordings.
No, absolutely not.
But it probably would have given the game away a little bit.
Might have a little bit. It's just like, okay, so you kind of have to strap it so, like, this is going to fall off anyway, even if I strap this in. So this is...
How do you mean? I see what you mean.
My thunder thighs are not suited for this kind of...
Isn't it supposed to have like a belt strap as well?
Oh, it does, in fact. Yes, it does.
Yeah, so that one goes through the belt.
Right, that makes a lot more sense, yeah. So
I'm taking some photos.
Right.
Because this is just...
I'm going to have to, dress up properly for this so you can take a few shots. And then... we can have a few glamour shots accompanying the podcast when it comes out. But yes, I could easily wear some... I do actually,
it's so cool.
It is fantastic. This is
I'm envious.
So exciting. And now we need to find an occasion for me to wear this.
I mean, we record a Farscape podcast, so, you know...
I know, but that's like it's a podcast. It's not a video cast or anything. So people... I would die in this if I had to wear this for the entire podcast.
I know, it's finally getting warm again. Maybe we should call Gigi again and see if we can do...
Oh, yes, that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, now I've got to get something matching. Now I've got to get like his geeky Ayasa outfit and actually wear khaki, being true to my name.
Wear a football helmet. Oh, wow, this is like so cool.
So yeah, this is another example of how amazing our beloved listeners are.
Yes. Oh man, now we'd really have to go to a con where there is like
oh my god,
where there is like some of the cast there and
we
around.
really have to look on the old calendar to see what we can finagle there.
Yeah, as long as it's not too far away in Europe somewhere.
I know we are kind of on the wrong, one of the wrong continents because I think
right. I mean that's Comic-Con. I mean. Well, there's a European Comic. There's a Comic-Con here in the Netherlands, isn't there? I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
They might occasionally. I mean, I have no idea.
Well, there are websites where you can track like appearances of various actors.
I'm so not surprised.
So who would you prefer to see? Because they rarely show up like more than one.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
So who's your favorite child? Who's the favorite of your various... Which parent is your favorite?
I mean, let's see. Whom would I prefer to see? I think Claudia Black is probably my favorite.
Yeah, she's like right up there, isn't she?
She's probably
just a goddess.
I mean, Gigi would be nice to run into. Ben Browder too. I guess Ben Browder. I wonder how much he gets like for Farscape and how much he gets for his like appearances in Guardians of the Galaxy and other other stuff that he's done. Stargate,
the latter seasons, yeah.
What has a bigger fan base for him?
That's an interesting question.
No idea how that would work. But
I think she doesn't do the circuit anymore. But I would have loved to hang out with Virginia Hay.
Oh yes,
because she seemed just like good fun,
so chill. Yes, and of course Anthony Simcoe. But I believe he's a motivational speaker. You told me at some point this day.
Yes, he's like a coach and a manager, and he's also quite active on the social medias.
Oh, okay.
I think any of them.
Yes, I mean, it would be great. So, yes. Oh, wow, we're already, this is going to be a long one, isn't it? Because we still haven't talked about the episode itself yet. Actually.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, let's see what our listeners have to say about this episode, which I'm actually quite curious about. Marky See says, the girls' shopping trip quickly goes to dren when they stumble upon a secret meeting. An assassination attempt turns to a hasty retreat. One of the crew is left not feeling quite themselves. And why won't anyone tell us where the baby is?
Ooh. I actually don't have the next one on my screen because I'm looking something up.
I'll do the next one as well then. The girls' shopping trip quickly goes to dren... Oh, wait, this is the same thing one twice. Never mind.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm doing great with the Airtable then. Apologies for that, because I was trying to find... Oh, no, it's not working for me. I was trying to find... I think it was Mystery Tour 7 sent a synopsis for an earlier episode.
Oh.
That probably was originally for this one, because you talked about that Chiana and Noranti having a gay off. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well... Hopefully I'll eventually find that and pop it in the show notes. But in the meantime... While the boys are off at camp, the girls go shopping to buy Moya a disguise. Their expedition takes them to a black market trading outpost. Unfortunately, it also happens to be where the Peacekeepers have arranged a clandestine summit with the Scarrens, whose duplicity catches more than just Grayza off guard.
Yes. So the show opens with a little recap, basically stating where everything has been going recently, a reference to the baby, and that Scorpius will use that against John to get the information that they're after, and that Grayza is not after Earth, and that Grayza and, what's his name again?
Braca.
Braca, thank you, are onto something as well, and working
Yes, they have
together.
a meeting with the Scarrens.
Yes, they have a meeting.
And that's Braca is actually loyal to Scorpius.
Yes, we know that.
Which didn't come up,
Grayza,
really.
no, it didn't. Rigel is not feeling himself.
I'm learning self-discipline that Katoya taught me. Besides, none of you can cook.
But I think he just doesn't want to cook for himself, and nobody else is doing it.
Just kind of grumpy. They're awaiting the return of the girls because all the boys have come back from mentalist camp.
Yes.
But the girls are on a dead Leviathan that's been fused with the planetoid to serve as a commerce output.
Right.
Which is because this episode was originally written to take place on a relaxation planet.
Okay.
But there was production sort of crunch, probably some sets needed to be built for later episodes, and so there was rehashed to, if we do it on a Leviathan, then we could just redress Moya's sets that exist.
I guess Raja was booked by the Star Trek The Next Generation.
What?
Isn't that Ryga? Isn't that the site?
Oh, Rigel. Yes,
no.
Rigel. No, Ryza. You're right.
Ryza, not Ryga. Yeah.
Stuck in. Yes, the sort of Californian 50-something Hollywood writer's idea of a vacation.
Yes.
Which
is basically a cruise without ship.
Yeah, it's and lots of sluts. Eh?
Yeah. I dig Sikozu's hair, which is back to being tied up in little bunches again. Yes.
I always like her Sputnik hair. She looks like a...
Although she seems to be growing it out a little, because those nodules seem to be slightly larger than they were in
I see what you mean.
In the past.
She's got a bit of a pufferfish look about her now.
I suppose, yes.
To go with those scales on her cheeks.
But yes, we have another typical commerce planet type setting, dark archways, alleys, and...
Yeah, lots of haze
lots
and
of
green.
light, yes. It could be any of the commerce planets we've seen before, or the planet of the dead, or the body of the Budong. It's all a little bit dressed up like that. So it's instantly recognizable as bustling marketplace.
Market, exactly. I love a space market.
Yes.
And seeing Noranti like walking around judging all the wares, but she's much less forgiving or enthusiastic than Zan.
I noticed, yeah.
100% natural, my Tullum. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yes. and I did notice that Noranti seemed different, her behavior this time round. Yes. Less weird and mysterious, even a little bit anxious at certain points where she normally doesn't seem to do that. She seemed to be less flighty, I would almost call it. She's always like flittering off and doing things. And she seemed a little bit more together, but also a little less.
So she's had a lot of times where she's a lot more detached from the plot that's happening. And here she's really grounded in everything that's happening. And she understands the stakes and she cares about them.
Right, which is unlike Noranti.
She has her phases. Right? I've sort of given up on teasing you with the idea that maybe there's a huge strategy there.
Like, well, it's starting to like become more of a it's
unless
just,
there's a pattern you're
just
recognizing.
Weirdo.
Is there a pattern? I don't know if there is.
Yes, they go to like some sort of bar where there's like this barker kind of dude out in front trying to talk to them. And
he's a little bit sleazy.
He is a little bit sleazy. He looks a bit like he's got a little bit of Han Solo in him.
He looks like Han Solo if he took up accounting as a career instead of
and let his hair grow out a little bit.
Bangs.
And Sikozu is basically trying to talk him into like letting them in and dealing with them. Like he's like being really circumspect about the whole matter.
I'm just a barker for a bar. Like it's no big deal. I'm just one of those sluts that you hear about.
We want to buy. We know you sell the stuff, and
and we know you work for Braca.
Okay, I didn't catch that part. But yes, he leads them to a private booth. First drinks on the house.
Don't drink them. They're drugged.
Right, yes.
After she's taken quite a swallow.
I mean, we've known she's the person who tastes the sleeping potions, you know? It's like
her tolerance is extraordinary.
Yes. It's
because they're establishing themselves as players.
Yes.
Not to be underestimated, not to be insulted. We come here to do business. We know what we're talking about. So dispense with all these pleasantries. Don't fake us out. Which I think lands really well. Like by the time that they've actually done this deal, these guys are quite sleazy. They hold up their end of the bargain.
Yes, they do.
That sleaze to a large part is an act, even to the point that they pull a gun on Chiana at the end, thinking that she's an interloper.
Right.
Because they would have protected their client's ship for her.
Yes, because they have a little weird act together. It's like so he gets the other guy involved, and they talk a little bit about what they want. They basically want like a cloak. Oh, you mean the pointy-haired Krusty the Clown type?
Oh, good, yes, Krusty the Clown, or like the boss from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yes,
bald on top, side hair sticking way out.
Yes,
it's like 12.5% of a perm or an afro. You know, like. Imagine if you took like an actual hedge trimmers to Bob Ross and just went nuts. And,
wow. Yes.
And gave him a reverse high fade. That's what I'm talking about.
There's a little bit of negotiation. What they want is a cloaking device, I suppose.
We need a sensor distorter for our ship to fool long-range scans.
So, not a cloaking device, but a camouflage.
And there's a good bit where
dazzle painting of Leviathans.
Well, to give it essentially sort of the radar signature of a different ship.
But of course you need to match the flight characteristics. And is your pilot good enough for that?
Yes. No.
Okay, well, your problem.
Yeah, not my problem. I'm just here to... But yes, so there's this little weird exchange because they need some part of Moya.
Your modulator.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes. And then they
Sensor modulator, that's the one that was.
And then they ask about it, like, okay, so like how long is it going to take? Oh, 4 hours. And I go, oh, no, that's far too long. We'll leave Moya half blind. And I'm just like, you've already got it here. She's like, all the time it took you to get here. It was probably more than 4 hours.
Yeah.
Why are you making such a fuss about this? Oh, no, that's not fast enough. We need it faster. We will leave Moya half blind for that period. While they're sitting there with that thing already in their hand, not in Moya. So
I think it's part of the negotiation, maybe. I mean, right?
Yeah, but that would still require those other people to be stupid.
The dudes are going to say they need more money than they actually need, and they're going to say they need more time than they actually need.
Oh, just pull a Scotty on them.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to put some pressure, but it turns out 4 Arns really is 4 Arns. But the price is a bit negotiable.
Right. They want 18, 19,000 whatevers.
How about I offer you some complimentary choices? Would that lower your price?
30,000.
And he's very insulting, is Braca, when he looks at Noranti.
And if it's that, 40,000.
And Noranti, doesn't blink. She just sort of puts her hand back on the module. Be nice, or we leave. And Aeryn closes the deal.
She's just 16.
16 and half up front.
Which seems to be, amenable.
That closes.
Yeah. Which they actually seem to be very pleased about, that they got it for only 16.
16,000 krintars, not bad. Not bad at all.
They would have paid 19 later. There's a little bit of an exchange when they're walking and talking, and it's 16, good deal, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. They've asked Chiana to keep an eye on Rekka, Han Solo, essentially.
Yes.
And as Sikozu and Aeryn are walking through what is essentially the hangar bay, but it's redressed.
Oh, yes, that makes sense.
Which I really liked about this episode. This is what Leviathans are supposed to look like. They're built for a lot of people.
Right, yeah.
They're supposed to be busy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and have all these spaces.
Moya is a weird exception that it's only 6 people living on there.
Yeah, exactly.
And, okay, so yes, they are in the marketplace, and they suddenly spot Grayza and Braca.
Yeah.
With
just
4 commandos. Yes.
Out of nowhere, just a complete, total coincidence.
Yes.
And immediately they get down. Oh, fuck. Sorry, Frel. You're editing this episode, so I'm sorry for
that. I know. It'll just be beep, 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 Frel.
I really love how businesslike Aeryn and Sikozu are, because Sikozu has some experience. She's not military herself, but she grew up under Scarran rule, and she's made her way through the universe.
And they communicate well. They talk about, okay, these are the options. We can either do this or we can do that.
Yeah, because they definitely have to stay undetected, but they can do that by hiding.
Or by spying.
And then they'll gain some more knowledge or leverage.
Information trying to find out
very
what's
rare
going on.
Opportunity.
There's a little bit of talk as well about what could motivate them, although that comes up later even more. My first thought was hang on, Peacekeepers aren't supposed to be in tormented space. And then I went hang on, it's Grayza, so she's probably high enough in command to be able to grant exemption for that. But as it turns out later, that as well, Aeryn surmises that she is probably not operating under her guidelines that she's supposed to.
Yes, because I think Sikozu confirms that. Hey, there's no Scarran proconsul here. This is not an official meeting for either of them.
This doesn't look like it's a nicely set up in Sharm el-Sheikh or whatever the tormented space equivalent of that is.
It actually makes me realize this is the meeting that Grayza came to Tormented Space for.
Yes.
So her bumping into Moya and boarding Moya was just a coincidence.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? While we happened to be here, they weren't traveling into Tormented Space to pursue Moya. They were traveling there for this meeting.
Yes. Well, good point. Meanwhile, Chiana is chasing the two Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Walking around through the marketplace. They notice that they're being tailed, and then I don't get this scene. There's a few weird things happen here, and I'm not sure what happens. So the Barker dude stops around a corner.
Yeah, they both sort of put their backs up against the wall as Chiana's coming toward them.
And as Chiana moves around a corner, then there is someone else standing there. So at this point I'm thinking, you're shadowing guys who specialize in stealth technology.
Yeah.
He just put on a cloaking device, and that's the dude that she just wanders past. But then something weird happens. Then she runs into this green-skinned woman, turns around, and is suddenly talking to the lady standing at the counter of the massage parlor. I don't understand what happens. I can see that the two dudes probably transformed into the golden-skinned dude and the green-haired telephone wire for Dreadlocks girl.
Oh, wow.
But
yes, that's probably it. But then using transformation kits that they have recently or previously bought from the parlor.
Yeah, I get that.
Right here. And I think that was their strategy, because Chiana goes up to the madam of the parlor. Everyone who works there looks like fembots. They have ridiculously expansive eyelashes.
White hair.
Exactly, a bub cut.
Very peculiar lip makeup, where almost like a geisha, where only the center part of the lip
sort of heart portion. Yes. So really sort of expressive. As we find out, this is a parlor that offers
services.
Expensive services.
And Shanna just puts down some money.
Well, I don't mind expensive services. As long as they're worth paying for.
She doesn't even know.
I know, right?
What the services are. But so on the surface, the service.
It's a massage parlor. A very skilled massage parlor.
Yep, with detailed files on different species, anatomy. But what they also offer is disguise kits, essentially, like genetic reprogramming. But when you buy one of those, you also buy discretion.
Yes.
So I think that's what Tweedledee and Tweedledum were doing. Like they went around this corner. There's loads of people here. This is an area where the only witnesses are these people who run this parlor, who know that they're customers. So they did their transformation, knowing that the
customers,
these witnesses
will, yes, and she just happens to like get involved with this group. And there's a massage scene which is strangely erotic.
Yeah, there's no limits to the eroticism here because I mean Chiana didn't even notice, but the masseuse
changes shape several times. Yes.
Yeah, whenever Chiana like makes a request, more pressure here or whatever, then she just sort of pushes some buttons and transforms her body into
first like a East German shot put lady style masseuse,
a muscular woman with a bald head. I would describe her from my personal life experience as a pool cue lesbian.
Fair.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
The kind of women who patrol our pride parades and keep our streets safe.
And then when she goes like even harder, then she turns into a dark-skinned man.
A big bruiser.
Yeah.
But still wearing the same type of outfit, essentially.
And the same. Although that man doesn't have the super long nails, but...
No, that was super creepy because in the form of black-skinned man, she presses on Chiana's spine and paralyzes her.
Yes, because apparently Nabari can be paralyzed by pinching a particular nerve in their back.
Permanently?
Well,
depends. Depends on how long and how hard I keep pushing.
And when she transforms back, like she's got her long thumbnail like jammed in between those.
Yes.
Well, which is very upsetting.
With eyelashes, which are at least like 5 to 10 centimeters long.
I know, they curl all the way around into her like her ear holes.
Oh.
Until Chiana mentions Recca.
Yes.
And then the finger is withdrawn, like, oh, you're a customer.
Okay, yeah.
And then the masseuse explains, well, our customers also buy discretion, so you're not getting information here.
No.
And Chiana kind of respects that. I sort of imagine that they then finish the massage that she paid for.
You would think so. Yeah, we're going to come back to that in a second. But first, there is a little bit more... Oh, yeah, there's a meetup between Grayza and the Scarren. The Scarrens arrive, basically, essentially.
Yes. Also surprising.
So we see I guess a royal-type Scarren. It's a female-presenting, long hair dress.
Yeah. Do you know who plays her?
You've Ben Browder's wife?
Yes! Yes! Awesome! Well done, Kay. Yeah, that's Francesca Buller coming back for her 4th role on Farscape.
Yeah.
And she and Lou Elsey, the costume designer, who is also married to Dave Elsey, the creature designer, had a great time working out this character because she's powerful. Fran took her inspiration from Cate Blanchett in the film Elizabeth, and perhaps more accessibly, the Borg Queen from Star Trek First Contact.
That's where that's much more of a...
with that same kind of vile sensuality.
Right. But which actually Grayza also kind of has.
Yeah.
It's like it's two very similar characters playing off against each other, which is like, which I only realized now that I'm saying it, which they pulled off really well.
They had such a great time rehearsing together because they did their sort of costume and makeup tests and then very quickly did a rehearsal for the camera crew to practice their eye lines as well. And like they had a really great time together. And then they completely blanked each other after they got out of makeup because they just didn't recognize each other. So they got back on set.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's you. Damn, I thought you were one of the extras.
Now, this whole outfit, like she's got a corset on to change her figure. Lou Elsey took Fran to the Sydney House of Fetish.
Oh, just like pick whatever you want.
Yeah, try on some thigh-high boots with like 5-inch platforms and an extra 2-inch stiletto heels.
Right. And the headdress is like, it's almost like Maleficent levels of, it's like almost like horns with a hat around it. It's
like, is her head so large, back swept that she's, or
I mean,
is it just
maybe that's how female Scarrens work. Male Scarrens have the forward swept head and...
Oh, not all. We've seen Axicor who disguise themselves.
Yes.
So it's the brain Scarren, as Dave Elsey calls them.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit like the brain bugs from...
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
What's the name?
Starship Troopers.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah, like even the producers, like they looked at the hat and said, well, how would she look without it? And Dave Elsey said, shorter. Oh, no, we're not doing that then.
Okay, so yes, they're being spied upon by
Sikozu, who has these
and Aeryn, yes.
Awesome, really twitchy monocular.
It's not just like a Leica camera, which has been spruced up a little bit by the props department.
Oh,
it kind of looks like
the lens is really.
It looks like a bit of an old style fashion film camera, which has been like mauled by the props department and turned into.
Maybe they took one of the Russian knockoffs.
Something like that. Isn't Leica Russian?
No. Leica is German.
Oh, okay.
Famously, or perhaps, am I betraying myself? Swiss or Austrian? Certainly in the Germanosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But those designs were famously co-opted by manufacturers in the USSR. Which, interestingly enough, after the fall of the Iron Curtain, some unscrupulous entrepreneurs from Russia started sort of trading in rare Leica models. They started appearing at like trade shows and auctions, like extremely rare, unknown Leica models. Like a special gold-plated 1936 Berlin Olympic version of the Leica with like swastikas in it.
Okay.
These were those knockoffs. These were the F-something knockoffs that in Russia are a dime a dozen. There are crates and crates and crates of them. And you just take one and you spruce it up. You essentially do a little cosplay.
Yeah.
And then you try and sell it to Europeans.
Wow, it's like, oh, yeah, this was an East German version that...
Yep, worked for a few years, and then people got wise to, hang on, wait, hold on.
We're being shenaggled here.
Shenaggled, I like that one. I love, okay, from a cinematic point of view, and from a sort of a metatextual point of view, what we have here is two powerful women conversing with one another, like doing diplomacy, doing war, while they're being spied on by two women of action.
Yes.
Which is like erasing 50 years of failing various Bechdel tests.
Yes.
To really just sort of emphasize this is female agency in so many ways. Interacting with one another.
And on the other hand, we have the two women from the disguise shop who look like they either escaped from Are You Being Served or any other British sitcom. It's like they really act like characters on a British show.
Are You Being Served is a very good one, or Upstairs, Downstairs. But that is also their act.
Yes,
right?
Of course.
That's how they exercise power.
Are you free, Mr. Humphreys?
No. I'm not expensive, but I wouldn't say I'm free.
Yeah. Oh, now you're missing your... Oh, it's like I'm not free, but I'm available.
Oh,
that's total recall.
Okay, so the discussion that they're having is a negotiation for an armistice, peace treaty.
Right, yes.
Between the Scarran Empire and the Peacekeeper, whatever their name is.
Grayza is willing to sacrifice the Luxons.
Yeah.
In exchange for undefined, well, there's a little bit of negotiation about that later on, but like in negotiation for the contested parts of the uncharted territories.
Everywhere beyond the Kelek Nebula.
Hardly an equitable exchange.
More than equitable. The Luxon worlds are wealthy.
Yes, they will basically retreat from their NATO treaty. Article 5 in NATO is like an attack on one is an attack on all that they have with the Luxons.
The mutual defense.
Yeah, and allow the Scarrens to overrun the Luxons. And what's her name? Scarran Queen.
Oh, that is War Minister Akhna, A-K-H-N-A.
Akhna, all right. She's a little bit suspicious. It's like, why would you do this? It's like, this doesn't seem like a good trade for you.
Since you've signed a mutual defense treaty, which Grayza says, well, High Command regrets it already. They're warriors, not diplomats.
Yeah.
Which
seems weird, an organization calling themselves the Peacekeepers, which...
Well, there's also the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is
and the Koreans,
barely one of those things.
And the Koreans Democratic Republic, People's Republic. And
the Korean People's Front, yes.
Seditionists.
And then there's also like the Japanese raccoon dog, which is one of those three things in that it is indeed in Japan.
Japanese, yes.
But as they're testing each other, they're being watched by Sikozu and Aeryn, and Aeryn keeps bugging Sikozu to like convey what she's
give me the
learning.
thing, because apparently her little monocle camera thing also transfers sound, which is really useful, so she can listen in. But apparently doesn't allow Aeryn to hear this, or maybe Sikozu's a really good lip reader.
Well, they're also very good at like hiding, because this area has been checked out by 4 peacekeepers and 4 peacekeeper soldiers and Scarren soldiers, and they're still able to drop some eaves because.
Oh, that's because they're hiding in the eaves.
Yes, very good. The eaves of. Do you recognize this location?
Oh no, I did not.
It's the pilot's den.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that now, yeah.
Right? You see the sort of console.
Yes.
It looks weird without, obviously, the glorious presence of Pilot.
Yes,
and,
I get that. Like,
and
that's
all
where they're
those lights.
standing, and they're like, Sikozu and Aeryn are roughly in the area above the door, I suppose.
Yeah. Aeryn has used that angle before in The Way We Weren't, when Pilot became, understandably, angry at her for her role in the killing of the previous pilot. She and Crichton used that sort of angle to infiltrate the pilot's den.
Oh, yes.
So because they're so familiar with Leviathan
yeah,
layout.
I guess they're very, really good at sneaking about. Yes, very good.
Yep.
So I love how Granny and Chiana are... basically, Granny gets sent out to go chase Chiana after they notice that Grayza and Braca are on board.
Yeah, that's when she's like really worried and on board and like, okay, keep it cool. Yes, I'll keep it cool.
Yeah, it takes her a little while to go find Chiana, but she eventually stumbles into the area of the massage parlor.
She's just asking everyone.
I'm looking for a Nabari girl. This high, kind of...
No! Another one.
Ah, there she is.
So here's me.
And they go like, oh, well, they sell disguises here, genetic disguises even. And they both get a fantastic outfit.
Yes. Oh my God, these glow-ups are amazing.
So Chiana has this... goes blue instead of grey with this red hair. She goes a little bit, I would almost say, Delvian. You know, the...
Oh, I see what you mean. That there's more of a fish quality about her.
I wouldn't call it that, but yeah.
Yeah, she reminded me more of like the Pathfinders because it's a blue, green, cyan kind of thing, and then the bright orange hair.
And Granny goes almost more Sebastian, like, well, it's half Ferengi, half Sebastian, really.
Well, she's got her same ears.
Is that her regular ears?
Well, they're less wrinkly, but she's a Trascan. They have very large ears compared to most Sebastian ones.
Well, in that case, basically, she gets de-wrinkled in a wig.
She is so unhappy about it.
Oh,
yes. I have no wisdom creases. I have no memory lines.
Oh.
I earned those.
Yeah. Oh, I missed that line.
Yeah, and she's missing her third eye. Like, even when they're talking about...
I know
like,
that. Yeah.
Okay, we need a species to turn you into.
Maybe big Loomis.
Yeah.
Eyes would be great.
Yes.
But she is just quite loving it. Gigi also loved it. They workshopped this disguise quite a bit because in the original design she had like green lenses because Dave LC he loves putting people in lenses.
Yes.
That's why I was also really happy with Fran Buller coming back because he knows that she can handle lenses. So I get to pull lenses into their eyes. And she had like longer hair, and then nobody recognized her. And thought, okay, so we've gone too far. Got to pull it back a little bit.
Yes.
Because we have to still know that it's Chi.
Which is good that they get their disguises on, because Braca is on the warpath. I don't know, why did he get sent out? Did they...
Oh, someone reported that there was a Nabari about whose description matches...
We have word of a Nabari female somewhere in the settlement. Description matches the escapee Chiana.
Stay here. I'll check it out.
Right, that was it. One of the commandos came in to tell them that. Yeah, so he go out looking. For some reason, he's asking everybody, but Granny and Chiana get the extra inquisitive treatment. I suppose it's because they're being kind of like they're blanking him at first.
Yeah,
they kind of like try to not engage, which makes Braca suspicious, and he just like straight up grabs them and like subjects them to a genetic test.
I love Chiana's voice here because she's doing a voice.
Yes.
She's going a little huskier. She's going maybe a little bit more transatlantic.
Okay. And yes,
she's complaining like, oh, no, I'm not interested.
Well, then try Scarrans. Level 3. Any kind of female you could care for.
I don't even like men, she says.
Yes.
Because she's with Noranti.
And they have a little L out.
Yes, they have a little gay off, and they're properly into each other, which I love. That is sort of resolved at the end when they're still sort of cuddling and close together, and Noranti goes, "Oh, I think we did quite well," and instead of doing the sort of, in an earlier season, they might have finished this with a joke and like spitting the taste out of each other's mouth, but No, Chiana gives her a little ear nibble.
Yes.
Like, yeah, if we had a bit more time, who knows? I also like the bit where Braca is asking them, have you seen an Abari? Well, what's an Abari? A grey girl. Oh, is she good looking? And Braca goes,
We only ever notice the good-looking ones.
Yeah, but I love that Braca goes, well, I don't know. It's probably. I think he's not into girls.
Either that or he's too pure of the Sebastian blood. He's like one of the ones who's like super against the Sebastians being like the interbreeding sluts of the galaxy here.
Yeah, he did snog Scorpius though, so...
He did. Ugh.
Apparently
Good
he does...
point. I mean, maybe that was just like an Italian or a Russian kiss, like a mafia kiss. But no, never mind. No, I'm not. I'm not buying that. Even I'm not buying that.
That would have been a snog if the makeup wasn't in the way.
There's that.
Although that doesn't seem to stop Chiana. Oh yeah, I love this whole scene. This is such a great look for Noranti, and they get to be sort of competent together.
Yeah. But
Farscape
yes, enough to get Braca out of the way.
Do you think Scorpius told him to stall Grayza?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to be doing anything to slow her down or...
And there's only so much you can do when you're at a conference with the enemy.
Oh, wait. Hold on. He gets that report, and then he says, I'll go check it out. He leaves her alone.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good point.
Because both parties have the same composition. You have one leader, one adjutant, and 4 warriors.
Yes.
In the form of Grayza, Braca, and then 4 SSDs, I think Special Services Division, something like that.
I think that's what it sounded like, yes.
And so you've got Akna and her adjutant Pennock, and then 4 Charids as soldiers.
Uh-huh.
So the same composition. So he's actually leaving Grayza.
So Charids are not Scarrens. They're the different guys, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're the ones that attacked Rigel's people.
Rather than bringing 4 Scarrens, because that seems like it would be equitable, they bring 4 Charids, although 4 Scarrens would probably outweigh 4 special service guys. So
yes,
I guess they agreed to have more or less equally matched.
Yeah, because I think the Charids are described as sort of the grunts of the Scarran military.
Oh, okay.
That probably the
foreign
horse-faced
legions
Scarrans themselves are more, I don't know, elite.
I guess, yeah. So, this is where they start knocking people out already. Have they already signed the treaty at this point?
Yes, because now that Aeryn understands what's happening here, she discusses with Sikozu, hey, this is kind of disastrous for everyone, and maybe we should do something about this. And of course, Aeryn, she doesn't mention it, but she has just spent her summer holidays as an assassin.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity. And Sikozu rightly says, well, hey, we can't risk ourselves like this. Do you have a plan for getting out? Yeah, run. Okay, do you have a more detailed plan?
Run quickly.
But she also says to Sikozu, which I thought was really good, hey, do you want to have a conversation with Darko and explain to him why his planets were obliterated?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
I did like when they have this tablet, which apparently holds the text of the treaty that they just agreed upon.
Uh-huh.
And then they do this, like, this signing thing where they bring out these little lighted... The best thing I can compare it to is Chop.
Chop?
That's what they're called. It's like those little name stamps that are used both in China and in Japan.
Oh,
they're called something else in Japan, but I think the Chinese name is a chop.
Oh, equivalent to like a signet ring in feudal Europe.
Exactly. It's a little stamp that you get, and I guess this looks like a bit of a digital
probably
variant upon that. Which is the prop department undoubtedly had a ball with making.
But betrayal is around the corner.
In the face of Sikozu dropping down from the ceiling, isn't it? Oh, there's actually a bit of confused shooting going around.
Yes, because it starts with, like, Aeryn is hiding out.
Yes.
And she's trying to get a shot on Grayza with the idea that...
she's brought her gun out and...
But she can't get a clear shot.
No.
Like a good assassin, even though everybody else there is someone that she probably doesn't mind shooting in the head.
No.
But the important thing is getting Grayza.
Yeah. It's like collateral damage is acceptable unless it gets in the way of the actual target.
Exactly. But before she's able to get a clear shot, Grayza commands her adjutant Pennock to basically backstab their counterparts.
Yes.
Shoot all the peacekeepers. Braca has the good luck that he's not present. And now Grayza is their prisoner.
Yes. But Sikozu comes dropping down on the one last remaining. I guess that's the guy, the adjutant who went... No, it must have been one of the commandos who went with Braca.
I need to catch up on my GIFs. Let me just...
About halfway through?
About halfway
At this point, it looks like Grayza's already been captured. It's a little bit hard to tell what's going on. Because I lost the plot at this point, I'll honestly admit. I could not quite follow what was going on here.
Okay, I see where the confusion is. I think in the episode itself, it's really a lot clearer, but a bunch of things sort of happen off screen. The thing that happens off screen, which is the most important, is that Braca and Grayza are captured.
Yeah.
And Grayza is put in this weird sort of organic-looking pod thing. And it's there, after Akna has left, that Aeryn and Sikozu attack the two chariots that are guarding them, with the intention still to kill Grayza. But Grayza says, hey, I'm more valuable alive.
Alive, I can repudiate that treaty.
Stuff happens fast now.
Right.
I don't think we have to follow it beat by beat, because the episode itself is very tight. I thought it was really well done.
It felt really long. While watching it, you're sitting there like, why is this not over yet? It's like,
oh yeah,
are we not out of the hour yet?
It's really talky too.
Oh, absolutely.
But a lot of it is like exposition and information and sort of repeating and rehashing it for so that everybody can explain it to each other and we can understand, which I think is really, really great. Honestly, it was a bit surprising for the actors that, we didn't realize we had to do so much exposition, which is tough to do. Rowan Woods did a great job. Oh, the writer was Carlton Eastlake, who previously did the Infinite Possibilities.
Yes, yeah.
So he'd written for the Chariots before, he'd written for the Scarrens before. He was a very good choice. We see Grayza trapped in a weirdly, I'm gonna say...
Vaginal.
I wasn't going to say vaginal. I was going to say sort of mollusk.
Does that word bother you?
No, but thank you for the Big Lebowski reference there, and the always fantastic Uma Thurman. No, it looks sort of like a mollusk.
I see what you mean.
Like
which has also been compared to
starfish. Oh wow, yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
whereas Braca is just sort of strung up with his arms cuffed
around
over
a heating pipe,
pipe, and then he gets heat blasted by Pennock
several times.
And Grayza says, "Hey, kidnapping a commandant is an act of war," and Akna goes, "Ha, don't worry about it.
Yes.
You won't be missed.
Yeah, we'll kill you. Don't worry. It's not going to be a kidnapping."
No. It is going to be kidnapping because this was their strategy.
Yeah.
That is a duplicating device,
right?
To create, as we discover later, a bioloid. So they want to send a bioloid of Grayza back to Peacekeepers so that they can keep her and have a nice long chat about wormholes.
Yes.
Because they have their facilities on. Did you listen?
Yes. Oh, the name of the planet?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay. But there was a planet that was named, it was called Katratzi.
Right.
Our facilities there are much, much better. So we'll take you there and we'll put you in a comfy chair.
Yes. She takes a shot at the Scarren dude with her sniper rifle, presumably. Doesn't do much.
Oh, Aeryn, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So after let me see, there's a bunch of rescuing going on. Rescuing of Noranti and Chiana, and Sikozu is there as well.
So hang on, let me get this straight, because now we're going to jump ahead a little.
Yeah, we are.
Because Aeryn shoots the Scarren, and...
Okay, look, there are several rescues that have to happen. First of all is Sikozu and Aeryn rescue Grayza and Braca.
Yes, that I got.
Okay. First intending to kill Grayza, so they kill the two chariot guards that Akna left behind. But then... Grayza convinces them that, no, I'm more useful to you alive because now I can still recant this treaty.
Yes.
Oh, well, how should I believe that you recant this treaty?
And if the Scarrens had not betrayed me, I'd have stood by it.
So therefore now I don't feel held by it. Yes.
We are not enemies, she's saying, which is fairly true.
Yeah.
So now Kozu and Aeryn have Braca and Grayza cuffed together, hand to hand.
Right.
And they meet up with Chiana and Noranti.
Mm-hmm.
They take out some more chariots, some more peacekeepers along the way, and then they get attacked by a Scarren, who is not so easy to take down. And
right, that's where Aeryn's shooting at him and tries to take him down. Yes.
And she says to Sikozu, you get Grayza, Braca, and Noranti and Chi back to the module, and I'll see you in half an hour, otherwise leave.
And I guess that's where she gets cloned and swapped around.
Yeah,
okay, because I was trying to piece together when that happened, but that's I forgot that she sends them off and she holds the stand, and that's when, yes. Okay.
And then we follow Sikozu, who actually does a really good job.
Oh, yes.
She
herds them fine. She's got the big old sniper rifle. They run into... No, they don't.
Chiana and Noranti, yeah.
Well, Chiana first has to deal with the thing we talked about with Tweedledee and Tweedledum earlier, where they don't think it's her, so they are...
Oh, yes.
They try to attack her and capture her in the module.
And they tie her up until she tries to convince them, look, it is me. I did one of those gene things. And then Han Solo sort of leans in.
Kisses her.
I think she kisses him. He gives her the opportunity, which I sort of paid attention to because, staunch Hollywood feminist. But she sort of licks his lips and he goes,
"It's her.
Are you sure?
They didn't transform her tongue."
It's such a weird... Like, they leave her tied up, take her money, but they do leave her the device that she bought. Like, services paid for, services rendered.
No, absolutely.
Right, as things go in tormented space, it's not bad.
No, it seems a lot better than the Uncharted territory, isn't it?
They've done a lot worse deals before.
I know, right? But, they leave.
We end on a cliffhanger before the commercial break, where finally everybody... Oh, yes, Grayza and Braca obviously escapes.
Yes.
But 3 of the girls are back in the module and waiting for Aeryn, and Sikozu says, well, if she's not here in half an hour, or if the Scarrens find us first, we're leaving.
Yep.
Fade to black. And then in proper Farscape tradition, you come back from a commercial and
goes to the crew on Moya.
Resolved itself. Well, no, it's even resolved itself because Aeryn just runs in.
She's coming.
Oh, thank June.
You all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Sit down and hold on.
Fine. Okay, good. I was worried.
They blast off and go and catch up with Moya, where the boys are still mildly bickering.
Have we signaled Rigel's distress?
They notice that the module is being chased by a Scarren ship.
So immediately they go to Starburst.
Yes, we get to see Moya Starburst again for the first in a while. There's this cute little...
It has been a while, hasn't it?
It has been, yes. Well, I remember the last time she Starburst, we also said it has been a while since we saw her Starburst.
Yeah. And they don't even seem to have much of a problem during Starburst. Like, it just
not anymore. No, it used to be a thing where Rigel goes like, "I hate Starburst."
Yeah, and you had the great screensaver on the front portal, and I guess they found their sea legs, their Starburst legs.
It makes sense. There's a little exchange between Dargo and Chiana, who seem to be almost have this atmosphere of rekindling their previous relationship, until Dargo basically goes, "I preferred the grey."
Well, I think that was a compliment.
Yeah, no, I did. But for instance, yeah.
She asked him, do you think it's an improvement? No, I preferred the elegant grey.
Right, yes, because her scent changed, I think. That's because of the... she looks really fed up with him at this point, actually, but...
And Rigel's bothering Noranti.
I'll reimburse you double if you can cook for me.
I may never cook again.
Noranti, please.
But they come out of Starburst, and the Scarrens are still on them.
Yes. Because apparently the Scarrens, whatever FTL stuff the Scarrens have is just as good as starbursting. Because they don't get a lot of time. Well, actually, we don't know how much time spent.
Well, it is described when they're when they're still on the sort of Commerce Leviathan. Aeryn and Sikozu hear the sound of a spacecraft flying overhead.
A double-winged...
that's a interesting sonic... Yes, exactly, 2 wings.
But that's right at the beginning when it's...
Then identify it as a Scarren Striker, the fastest ship in their fleet.
Right.
So if any ship can catch up. Although, no, it is the Dreadnought.
That's the Dreadnought, yeah.
That comes up on it. Look at us, a bunch of little Star Trek geeks
yes.
keeping track of all the ships that there are. But so they conclude that there must be a beacon on board, and it's not in the sensor module.
Nope.
Chiana goes, okay, I haven't found anything in the module, but I'm still looking.
The DRDs confirm that everybody is who they claim to be, and that nobody has any sensor modules on them as well.
No signals coming from them.
Yep.
And then Noranti says, well, they're probably chasing us, not Moya and Pilot, so maybe we should just take ships and scatter.
Yes. That'd be safest for Moya.
With John then turns to Aeryn, like, does that seem right? She goes, yeah, well, that seems like the best idea, but what about the, And she sort of...
blanks on him.
Existends, head wobbles at him. Yo, listeners at home, oh God, you were going to wish that this was a video podcast because the sort of eye wobble that Kate just did is legendary.
Yes.
And then he finishes the word baby. What about the baby? And she goes,
Baby? Yeah. What the baby?
And then it gets really weird. So this final scene was essentially reinvented by Ben Browder because as it was written, he described that we never really solved the problem of how Crichton knows that Aeryn isn't Aeryn.
Uh-huh.
And so he just tried to make it into this really instinctual sort of gut instinct kind of thing, because he asked her, where's the beacon? Where's the beacon? Where's the baby? Like, just really confusing, fucking with the programming.
Yes.
I guess it turns out.
Beacon baby. For a brief moment there, that expression on Aeryn's face led me to think that Lex, oh yeah, sorry, I had a miscarriage. But that was like,
oh no, that's horrifying.
That would have been, yes, but then I caught on to what was going on. It took me a moment to realize that like there's something funny was going on there.
Something was wrong with Aeryn.
Yes.
Sorry, I've just blasted completely past that. Like, at which point did you realize that something was up with Aeryn, or did you think that Crichton was going fucking nuts after he was heat tortured or something?
It took me surprisingly long to go on to decide that, like, no, when he started doing his banter, like his, whatchamacallit, when he started doing his auctioneer babble, baby.
The patter.
That's the word I was looking for.
Where's the beacon? Where's the baby? Where's the baby? Where's the beacon? Beacon, baby, beacon, baby.
Then at that point I started like, apparently this is about Aeryn, and that's when I started.
He pulled his gun at this point.
Yeah. He just like draws her out and like takes an aim at her, and like, what's going on? And yes, basically it takes a while for everybody to get on board, and he straight up shoots her.
Yeah. Because he also asked her to like say the word baby.
Yeah,
which for some reason she doesn't.
No,
And then he asked her to spell it. Because
and then he goes like the
real
alphabet.
Aeryn speaks English.
Yes, he goes into the alphabet song, and when that doesn't pick up with KLMNOP.
I know. He stopped at J, and I was like, oh, one more letter, and I'll have like the perfect like soundbite for K's voicemail. One day.
Yes.
Shoots her in the head. And the effect is amazing. So it starts off with a sort of CGI edit of Claudia Black's face. Originally, the intention was to do this with several different effects. So a makeup on Claudia Black, and then a bit of that would be in green screen so they could blend in some CGI.
Right, that's what I kind of figured that they'd done here. They just paint half her face green. And
Claudia Black had a real bad reaction to the prosthetic, and that was not okay.
This seems to be a recurring thing here. Like people having bad reactions to prosthetics.
I don't think she'd had that kind of prosthetic before. So there was an allergic reaction to one of the glues or dyes or whatever. And so instead of risking one of their main actors like having a swollen face for a few days, they asked Dave Elsey if overnight he could build an Aeryn head, which he did.
Okay.
He just built a replica Aeryn head. The makeup department came in to do the makeup, and half of it was replaced with like bits of clockwork, lots and lots of tripe.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was, but it looked a bit, oddly cellular.
Yeah, there was mechanical bits and lots of tripe, and like the director kept coming back, like, "Have you got any more tripe?" Because it's so gross and it looks great.
The butchers were just like in the neighborhood, were just wondering what the frell is going on here.
Saved yourself some editing there. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
I've tried tripe. I can never really get into it.
I might have had it at dim sum, but I don't really. Well, that's lung, not tripe. Never mind.
It's the kind of thing that would, like, it smells like something that I would really enjoy, but I can never get into the texture. Sort of like pig's ears as well.
Yeah.
Well, pardon for any of our vegetarian listeners who were upset by that. But so now we've got a dead Aeryn.
Yes.
And
an incoming dreadnought. And they use the sensor cloaking device. They tell Sikozu goes like, yes, make it look like a Scarren ore freighter, and pilot fly it like an Aeryn, like a Scarren ore freighter, like pilot's ever seen a Scarren ore freighter before and knows how to fly them.
Well, so they describe it that Scorpius has patched it into the neural cluster, and pilot goes, oh yes, I sense that there are several options, and he picks the one. So maybe there's also like a sort of instruction on how to fly.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Right, because he suddenly experiences this incredible multitasking capabilities. Sikozu speaks Scarren.
Right. Why don't the translator microbes work on Scarren?
Yeah. It has failed before, like previously when she and Scorpius spoke Scarren. But we have seen people speaking their native language in defiance of translators before.
True,
like when they started negotiating with the, what's it called? The giant robots, the sexy ones that I like.
Oh, yes, those.
And they were all talking their own languages.
Yeah. But it works. The deceit works. Sikozu manages to use her linguistic talent to throw the Scarrens off the trail, and the dreadnought.
I mean, she grew up in Scarren territory. Like, it's probably a language that you learn in school.
Yeah.
state language even.
So,
and she says that what she told them was, oh yes, we are just an ore freighter. We did see a Leviathan, but
they went that
away.
He went that away.
And I thanked them for scaring it away.
Yeah.
And now we get to deal with where's Aeryn?
Yeah, well, clearly still back on the planet, or maybe on board the Dreadnought. We don't know.
Right.
Yeah, because it turns out that Scarren probably won that fight.
Yeah.
So now they have the Scarren... Well, the Scarren Aeryn. The Scarren Aeryn.
Scarren. Oh, that's a tricky portmanteau, but let's see if you can pull it off.
It's been taken care of, but yes, we have lost the real Aeryn.
Yep.
And
so it's unclear whether there's a bioloid version of Grayza being sent back to Peacekeeper Command, but she and Braca escaped, so they'd probably make their way back.
Yeah, because Braca would have seen that.
And they have a command carrier in orbit.
Yes.
So that's an interesting outcome. I love that we finished with Dargo and Crichton, because Crichton's just sitting with this bioloid corpse on the command.
Yeah. Nobody's bothered to pick up yet. It's like, get some DRDs on it.
Job. Yeah, exactly.
Just get some DRDs to haul it off. And
who normally clears off the corpses from the floors?
I'd say the DRDs.
They're just these little guys.
There's a lot of them.
But they don't do... Oh, yeah, that's true. And they do have sort of the little sort of circular lights, like they've got mops on the underside.
Yeah, exactly. It's like...
Space Roombas.
That's the one.
Mo.
So.
Mo. Oh, from... Wally.
Oh, right,
the little cleaning bot.
Right, yes, the neurotic cleaner. This will not do. Absolutely not, Kurt. So.
Crichton's just completely silent.
Yes.
And Dargo says,
but we're not going to let her go. I give you my word.
Which I loved.
She gives me a woody.
Oh, yeah, she does.
She gives you the willy.
Oh, yeah, she does.
There was a lot of that going on in this episode. Oh, my. What got my willy? I guess it would have to be the... that's a good question. What did get my willy? It wasn't very willerific.
No, absolutely not.
Nothing like to me, this is
in every respect a totally flawless episode. Because even like the sleazy business guys,
they were great. Yeah,
were business guys. Like that was their act.
That was just their modus operandi.
Yep, the hypersexualized sort of fembot women.
I like those. That was definitely willy material.
Willy?
Sorry, woody material.
Yeah,
sorry,
Woody's the good one.
My bad. Yeah.
I totally loved them. And it was also their act. And it was examining like female agency in a way that even like Farscape, which was progressive for its time, has never done to this degree.
Right, well, there was a bit of gender bending going on there as well. Some of those models were definitely that. I really loved the different makeup on Noranti and on Chiana. That was definitely woody material as well.
Oh, I liked her haircut.
Yeah.
Noranti's, like, she's got sort of the Italian boy haircut with the side parting.
And like, I guess that segues into my real Woody. Oh. Which is the fact that everybody was doing some variety of David Bowie cosplay.
Yes, they were the Ziggy's Stardust.
I know, right?
Everyone was Ziggy Stardusting. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, let's have an AI-enhanced version of this where all the roles are played by Tilda Swinton.
Oh, wow.
Well, she is David Bowie reincarnated, essentially.
Fair.
There used to be... I read an interview where she talked about as a young woman who with androgynous or non-traditionally feminine features. Like she sort of struggled with her identity, and then she saw, I think it was a Ziggy Stardust LP in the music store. She didn't have a music player or an LP player. She didn't hear the album until years later, but she bought that just for the image.
Oh, wow.
That really sort of empowered and captivated her. So when she became an actress of some note, like she reached out to thank David Bowie, they became fast friends to the point that they wore matching outfits to parties when they
dressing up as each other and yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, I totally get you. I struggle to find a Woody, except for just this is not me being a performative ally to women, right? This is not me being a masculine feminist. I'm really interested in narratology in Hollywood. I'm quite aware of representation over the various, in a very limited degree, and just like the multifaceted examinations of female agency was fantastic. It was so much. It was. I would love to read a proper feminist treatise on this episode.
Well, a good episode it was, and more exciting setup has been made for the rest of this season.
Yeah,
we have 5 episodes left.
6.
Is that 17 to 22? So that's 6 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's
Getting
5.
there.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, sorry, I had to count that out on my fingers. Maths is not really...
It's the best way.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another Willy-less episode. There's just nothing. Even all the tripe.
True.
Right? And that whole face just sort of looks great.
That was really good. Well done. Biobot type thing. It looked amazing.
Yep. So here we are, season 4. And for some people, it's not their favorite.
Okay.
And even in my rewatch, I've noticed some ups and downs, but this is just fantastic.
Okay, so the pacing felt really weird of this episode.
There's so many lines.
Yeah. It just feels like things are going everywhere and nowhere and then everywhere again. And several times I was like sitting there going like, is this like a double length episode? It's like, this is an hour and a half. It felt like it was much longer than it actually was.
As they would say in Russia, good value.
Absolutely. So, thank you for joining us for another episode.
And that's the story so Farscape.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of So Farscape. We will be back next week for another fan fiction. And the week after that was episode 417, A Constellation of Doubt.
Oh, lovely title.
In which on Moya, as John wonders about the location of Katratzi, the likely location Aronson is being held captive, he obsessively watches a television transmission that Moya has intercepted from Earth. It's a program documenting the aliens' recent visit and the reactions of Earth people.
Huh.
That seems like weird to have. It must have traveled through a wormhole, otherwise there's no way that it could have.
Who knows?
Gotten this far this quick.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? I really have to look at those synopses again because I think
clever,
that was maybe
that was a clever one.
Yeah, I distinguish the clever ones. Those are the ones that I usually pay attention to. I wonder why I let that much information into the clever one. I'll figure it out in future. Oh, hey, speaking of titles, the title for this episode, of Farscape, last bit of trivia before we leave.
Bringing Home the Bacon.
Bringing Home the Beacon was a pun that was delivered by director Rowan Woods.
Yeah.
And so, as was Farscape tradition, he took home the bottle of whiskey that you get when you name an episode.
Oh, nice.
Which is why that is the beverage of choice for this
today.
recording. That's why I had a sudden craving.
Okay, very cool. I didn't know they had a bounty on naming the episode.
Turns out.
What kind of whiskey was it? Do we know that?
Oh God! Well, we'll have to sort of hunt down Rowan Woods and ask him. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us once again. You can find us at So Farscape on Facebook and Twitter, where I will become more active. I promise. Eventually, you can find the links to submit your own synopses. Join our Patreon, which we still super duper appreciate. Thank you for the contributions that you have made. By the way, in keeping with our promise to only spend the Patreon budget on absolutely stupid stuff, that's what I used to pay for the shipping and handling on this fantastic gift that Greg sent.
Oh,
we will be posting photos. Oh, yes, of course. That's what I'll use Twitter for.
There we go.
We'll post some photos. You can also submit recommendations for fan fictions, one of which we have coming up. And I think that's about it. In any case, we absolutely love you. I'm Kaki.
I'm Kay.
So Farscape, so good.